Hey everyone, I hope you're fine and doing well. Let's understand about recording business transactions. There are many students from art and science background who take admission in BBA and MBA, and it's difficult for them to record business transactions. Okay, in financial accounting. I believe it's very simple to record business transactions. For recording business transaction, first you need to understand the transactions actually. Then you need to categorize the transactions into 5 categories: assets, liabilities, revenue, expenses, and capital. These are the 5 categories of the business transaction. Entire business transaction fall under these 5 categories. After categorize, you need to apply the rule, because rule of each type of transaction or each categories of transactions are different. The rule for the assets and expenses is, when assets and expenses increases in the business, we debit it. When assets and expenses decreases in the business, we credit it. In the same way, when liabilities, revenue and capital increases in the business, we credit it. When revenue, liabilities and capital decreases in the business, we debit it. Okay, these are the rules actually. Just you need to identify which aspects of the transaction increases and which aspects decreases. Okay, so before going ahead, you need to understand the double entry systems also, because there are two techniques of recording business transaction. One is single entry, another is double entry, and entire world follow the double entry system of accounting, in which we record both the aspects of transactions. Okay, before starting this session, I said to you that you need to understand first transaction, because each and every transaction involves two aspects, and under the double entry system you need to record both the aspects of the transactions. Okay, one aspect will be credit and another aspects will be debited. Okay, just you need to analyze the transactions and you need to categorize the transaction or aspects of the transactions. Okay, say for example, you started business business with cash of rupees 1 lakh. This is a transaction you need to record in the business. Okay, you started business. Here you infuse the cash into the business. Okay, or you infuse the capital into the business. Okay, so here you need to analyze. In business, cash increased. Okay, you need to identify there are two aspects of this transactions. One is, the cash, because we bring cash in the business. Another is capital that is increased. Okay, so for cash, what you will do, either it will be debited or it will be credited. Then you need to identify cash falls in which categories of the transaction. Cash falls under the assets categories, because the assets like land, building, plant and machinery, and cash will be assets. Okay, so the rule for the assets is, if assets increase in the business, it will be debited, and assets decreases, then it will be credited. So in these transactions, cash increases in the business because we bring cash into the business, so we debit the cash. And another aspect is capital. Capital itself a category of transactions, and the rule is, when capital increases, we credit it. When capital decreases, we debit it. So in this transaction, we will record cash account debit to capital account. Okay, in this manner you can apply the rule and you can categorize the aspects and you can record the transactions. Let's take another example. When you buy goods on cash of rupees, say for example 20,000, what you will record? This is a transactions. You purchase goods on cash of rupees 20,000. This is a transactions, and you need to first identify two aspects of these transactions. Okay, how you will identify the aspects of the transactions. Okay, one thing I'll say you here, when we buy goods for selling, trading, we record the purchase account. Okay, when we sell goods, we record the sales account. Here one aspect is purchase, because we purchase goods for selling of rupees 20,000, and you need to categorize the purchase, in which category purchase falls. Okay, so purchase will fall in the expense categories, because when we purchase goods, then we expense actually. Okay, so for expense rule is, when expenses increase, we debit it. When expenses decreases, we credit it. So purchase account is debit, because purchase is expense, and when expense increases, we debit it. Okay, because through the purchase our expenses is increased. And another aspects of this transaction is cash, because when we purchase something, we pay cash. Cash is assets. When assets decreases, because when we pay cash, it means our cash decreases. Then what we need to record as, when assets increases, we debit it. When assets decreases, we credit it. So in this transaction, assets decreases, then we need to credit the cash. Okay, so we will record purchase account debit to cash account. In the same manner, we will record the sales and other transactions of the business. Just you need to categorize the transactions, actually aspects of the transactions, into 5 categories: assets, liabilities, revenue, expenses, and capital. And you need to apply the rule. I hope you understand. If any problem in recording the business transaction, you can write me in the comment box. Thank you so much. Have a good day.